A billionaire walked past a barber shop with 8 chairs, 6 barbers, and a line out the door. He watched for 10 minutes. Then he walked past a second barber shop, 3 doors down. 1 chair, 1 barber, no sign in the window, no line, just a small card on the door that said, "By appointment only." He walked into the second shop. The barber, a man named Elliot, greeted him without rushing. The haircut took 45 minutes. There was no noise, no waiting, no television, just skill and conversation. The billionaire paid $180 and booked his next appointment before he left. His assistant outside said, "The first shop charges $25. You paid $180. The billionaire replied, "The first shop sold me a haircut. Elliot sold me 45 minutes of not being interrupted. That is not the same product." The next week, the billionaire stopped at a small florist on a busy shopping street. The owner, a man named Joe, was exhausted. He worked from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. He had 3 staff and still could not keep up. His margins were thin. His rent was rising. He was thinking about closing. "What is your most profitable item?" the billionaire asked. Joe pointed to a small arrangement of seasonal flowers. "I sell hundreds of those, but the margin is only about $4 each." The billionaire looked around at the shop. "And your most profitable customer?" Joe thought. "Probably the corporate offices. They order weekly arrangements, maybe $200 a week per office. I have 4 of them." The billionaire nodded. "And how much time do those 4 accounts take compared to hundreds of individual customers?" Joe paused. "Maybe 30% of my time. But they are only 4 customers." The billionaire said, "So 4 customers take 30% of your time and produce your most reliable revenue. And the other 96% of customers take 70% of your time, buy the $4 item, and go home." Joe did not answer. He already knew. The billionaire said, "Close the shop. Open a studio. No walk-ins, no street traffic, no retail chaos. Just 12 corporate accounts at $200 a week each. That is $2,400 a week, times 52 weeks. That is $124,800 a year from 12 phone calls." Joe shook his head. "But if I close the shop, I lose the brand. I lose visibility. People need to see me." The billionaire replied calmly, "The people who need to see you are not walking past your window. They are sitting in offices deciding who to call for the boardroom flowers on Monday. You do not need a window. You need a portfolio and a phone." Joe was quiet for a long time. Then he said, "What do I do with the 3 staff?" The billionaire replied, "2 of them become your delivery and production team. You become the person who closes the accounts. You stop being a florist and start being a business." Joe closed the shop 14 months later. He opened a flower studio in a small warehouse with no signage. He sent a portfolio to 42 corporate offices in his city. 12 said yes, then 18, then 26. 3 years later, Joe had 26 corporate accounts, 2 staff, and was working 4 days a week. His annual revenue was 3 times what the busy shop had ever produced. And the first thing every new client said when they called was, "A colleague recommended you. I heard you are the best." Busy is not the same as profitable. Visible is not the same as successful. The shop with the line outside is often the most exhausted and the least wealthy. The studio with no sign is often serving the clients who never negotiate, never cancel, and never stop referring. Follow Business Capsule before you scroll. Joe went from a chaotic shop to a quiet studio and tripled his revenue. Follow for the daily capsule that teaches you to see where the money is actually hiding. If this made you think about the difference between being busy and being profitable, hit like. 1 tap. Comment, in your work right now, what is your version of the 4 corporate accounts? The 20% that produces 80% of your results. Write it below. I want to read every answer and share this with a business owner who is exhausted and not sure why. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can tell them is, the problem is not the hours, it is the model.